After 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, I'll be leaving at the end of the season. I think the decision for me is personal. To change environment, to challenge myself. It's not about wanting to find something better. It's about me and my personal journey as a player, and I feel like now is the right time for me to go and experience that. People won't be happy with the decision, but it's something that I feel like I need to do on my journey and my career.
It's Alexander-Arnold! Oh, what a moment! The teenager!
The times that I've had here, the memories, the special moments are and will always be some of the best moments I'll have in my life, and memories that will live with me forever. And I'm eternally grateful to everyone who's helped me along the way. Being able to sit here now as a two-time Premier League champion for the club that I grew up loving, it's a great end to the story for me.
Now Alexander-Arnold, and he scored!
Of course, it's very emotional for me. It's all I've ever known. It's everything I've ever wanted to do, dreamed of as a kid. Yeah, it's just very emotional, if I'm honest, because the club, the city, the fans, the people have given me things that I could never have dreamt of in my wildest dreams. It's, you know, a journey that I've lived through, that millions of people will dream of doing it, and I've been lucky enough to have been able to experience it. I'll never forget it, and I can't thank everyone enough for the support, the belief, the amazing.
A stellar moment from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
The love I have for this club will never leave. It will never diminish. I'll love it forever. I'll forever be in debt to the club and the fans for everything they've done for me. And there's no doubt about it. I'll be back. Any chance I get, I'll come watch games. I'll be supporting. I'll be wanting the club to win, wanting the club to be successful. There's nothing changing in that. I will always remain a Liverpool fan. Okay. After 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, I'll be leaving at the end of the season. I think the decision for me is personal. To change environment, to challenge myself elsewhere. It's not about wanting to find something better. It's about me and my personal journey as a player, and I feel like now is the right time for me to go and experience that. People won't be happy with the decision, but it's something that I feel like I need to do on my journey and my career.
It's Alexander-Arnold! Oh, what a moment! The teenager!
The times that I've had here, the memories, the special moments are and will always be some of the best moments I'll have in my life, and memories that will live with me forever. And I'm eternally grateful to everyone who's helped me along the way. Being able to sit here now as a two-time Premier League champion for the club that I grew up loving, it's a great end to the story for me.
Now Alexander-Arnold, and he scored!
Of course, it's very emotional for me. It's all I've ever known. It's everything I've ever wanted to do, dreamed of as a kid. Yeah, it's just very emotional, if I'm honest, because the club, the city, the fans, the people have given me things that I could never have dreamt of in my wildest dreams. It's, you know, a journey that I've lived through, that millions of people will dream of doing it, and I've been lucky enough to have been able to experience it. never forget it, and I can't thank everyone enough for the support, the belief, the amazing moments we've had.
It's another stellar moment from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
The love I have for this club will never leave. It will never diminish. I'll love it forever. I'll forever be in debt to the club and the fans for everything they've done for me. And there's no doubt about it. I'll be back. Any chance I get, I'll come watch games. I'll be supporting. I'll be wanting the club to win, wanting the club to be successful. There's nothing changing in that. I will always remain a Liverpool fan.
All right, and of course, it's another beautiful time to talk football. And of course, it's quite an emotional day for Liverpool fans as Trent Alexander-Arnold, the man who has three very interesting names, say it is time after 20 years to make a new chapter in his football career. And of course, a lot of Liverpool fans have not shown excitement with the news. But it is what it is. The man has paid his dues. He joined the club as little as when he was 6. And he has given 20 years to the club side. And the man believes it's time for him to try new things. Because age definitely will not be on his side if he wants to make that decision at a later time. On that note, I say welcome to Locker Room on Voice of the People TV. My name is Jerry. I'll play your high. So much going down in the exciting world of football today. The Flying Eagles beaming with so much confidence after 2 games. Wait to see what's going to happen against Kenya. I'm not alone in the studio. I have Éric who makes an interesting return on this lovely day as we take a look at football action. It's great to have you join us once again on Locker Room.
Good evening, Jerry, and good evening to our viewers. It's good to be here this evening, Jerry. A lot is happening, and Liverpool is losing one of their very key players, and that's team that won the UEFA Champions League. Liverpool is beginning to actually fade out. I think it remains Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and of course the goalkeeper Alisson. These are the only 3 key players remaining in that squad. You might want to say Robertson, but I really don't see him as a key player. I just see him as one of those players who make up the team that won that UEFA Champions League. But I mean, it's like you said, it's one of those things, and players will definitely want to actually test new things. And he was also very spot on when he was talking about, it's not about he looking for a new thing. It's just about his own personal journey as a player. I really don't think players like Arnold, who has spent about 20 years in a particular club side, have any reason to actually want to leave. But then some other persons have their own opinion. I don't think if you stay that long, I just want to believe you just have to stay there forever, because that club has been, it's already part of you. You've given a lot of your life to that club, and that club has given you a whole lot. They've given him the platform to actually excel. It's one of the I think it's going to be England's first choice right back going to major competition now that they don't have the likes of Kyle Walker and of course Trippier, in the mix again. And so I think it's going to be him, Rich James, and of course we know how fragile Rich James is. So if anything happens, it's going to be just Trent, and this is the opportunity to actually make it to the World Cup. Playing for Real Madrid, it's also another big move, and of course a step higher. Leaving arguably the most successful club side in England to the most successful club side in the world. It's a step I don't think any player wants to actually resist. So it's really not surprising to see a player like Trent. Of course, also that the influence of Jude will always be there. He's doing so well. I want to join my countryman there. So it's a big loss for Liverpool because I don't think they are going to replace him anytime soon. But of course, it's a big win for him because adding Real Madrid to his career or his CV is a very big one. Just few number of players in the world can actually dream and talk about the story of the Galacticos.
All right, the same time will tell. And as far as Trent Alexander-Arnold's next move is concerned, we'll be taking a look at that as the show progresses. We also have Maiwa who joins us virtually. So much going down. Maiwa, is great to have Maiwa is still not here with us. I don't know, maybe still talking to Ruben Amorim on how they can survive the rest of the Premier League season. All right, let's talk about the Super Eagles coach. Éric is arriving in Egypt today to watch the Flying Eagles play in the ongoing Under-20 African Cup of Nations. He will be observing their performance to identify fresh talent for the Super Eagles ahead of the Unity Cup in London, which starts on the 27th of May. The Flying Eagles have made a promising start to the tournament, securing a 1-0 win over Tunisia and a goalless draw against. But what we see so far so good, it shows that a lot of people are getting their attention. At least they are drawing the attention of so many people. And if the coach decides to go to Egypt, it means that he's really interested in what's happening with the Flying Eagles.
True. Jerry, I think about a few days ago, we were having a conversation about the Flying Eagles. I mean, their championship and their tournament comes in 2 years. Olympic is once in. We're not going to be seeing, we're not going to be having the Olympics anytime soon. And then there's a tournament for us to actually see the very next cadre of players that will be qualified to play for the Super Eagles. We also talked about how, from 18, 19, 20, these are the next prospects of players that will be hoping to see the Super Eagles. We also talked about how Éric has been gunning for the young bloods in Europe, 20, 21, 22, within that particular age bracket. And this is exactly this pool of players, Egypt, to actually go see these boys play and then see one or two players that they can actually bring into the Super Eagles to actually blood in with the players he's trying to work his.
Really too early to be talking about the Super Eagles for these guys, because if you talk about the Super Eagles now, you will create a lot of distraction because the competition is still early, one, and secondly, they still have to talk about the Under-20 World Cup if they qualify eventually. So if anything happens to them in the quarterfinals, they crash out. I'm telling you, nobody will be talking about bringing them into Super Eagles anymore. It has happened to a lot of teams. When they get distracted, they begin to count their chicks before they are hatched, and it's not good for a young team that is still trying to make it at the youth level.
I agree with you to an extent, knowing that yes, this sort of attention from the Super Eagles manager can actually affect their psychology, and of course make them start seeing themselves as individual players rather as a team, because that's where you start seeing players becoming selfish. You don't want to play as a team, you just want to show that you're actually good enough to play for the Super Eagles. But again, there's an upside to this. The upside is the fact that these players can now see themselves as players who have actually done so well. And like they always say, if you've done so well, the reward for good work is, of course, to get promoted. So they getting the attention of the Super Eagles manager is a lot for them. And they definitely, I know this Kenya game is not going to be as difficult as the last two games, right? I had no disrespect to Kenya, but of course we know that North Africans have a level higher than what North African football rather have a level higher. It's a level higher rather than what we see in East Africa, right? So it's obvious that getting a good result against these two guys is obviously going to be a motivation against Kenya. I see the Flying Eagles actually winning that game, and of course getting to the quarterfinals. I don't know who we're going to play, but hopefully if we get to the quarterfinal, I know that I want to believe the Flying Eagles will understand that the assignment is just to particularly win that game, because that game is standing between the Flying Eagles and the World Cup ticket. Semi-finalists are going to the World Cup. That's how it is. In this particular tournament. So I want to believe that when they get to that stage, they know that it's just that game, between them and the World Cup ticket. Again, right, Éric Chelle is doing a very good job, and I think his presence is going to be more of a motivation than a distraction at this point. These guys also know that if they do well, whether the coach comes to see them or not, they're definitely going to be part of the Super Eagles in the long run. So it's a win-win for them.
All right, it's a win-win for Ikechukwu and Dan, but I still see that is too much in a hurry. Let them go to the Under-20 World Cup and blow our minds away. Then I can now say yes, this is the future. Because I remember when the Under-20 Samson CSS signed, whatever they were doing in the Africa, a lot of Nigerians still didn't pay attention until they went to the World Cup at the Under-20 level. Even at the group stage, everybody was worried. I, for one, was worried for the game against Brazil. With the way they played Brazil, that got my attention. I said, okay, this team has what it takes. Then they went as far as, I think, playing the Morocco team in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals? Yes. When they now played Morocco, that's when I now know that this team is going to go places. Let's wait for those big moments that really puts them apart from each other. Because they're just playing on the 20 group stage, for instance, and they have not got it to the final yet. They are not doing what has not been done before. So let's allow them focus on the because
Jerry,
I've seen teams like
hard.
this. Let me tell you, I've seen teams like this that get their attention at the very early stage and they crash in the quarterfinals.
And of course,
because of distraction.
We've also seen teams that get this attention and then make it,
very
past the
few.
tournament. Very few. And this might also be one of those very few teams, right? But the truth is this, Jerry. The truth is that this particular team that we are looking at, right? If you are looking at it from the point that, okay, yes, they should allow them, grow, and then less distraction and many things. Let's look at all of the teams that have won, championship across the world. Though I'm talking about under 20, under 17. How many of how many of their players, progress into becoming superstar in the future? How many? You hardly look at the team and say 5 of them actually, from a particular kid move into the national team and become superstars. It's very rare. So we know that it's not all of them that is definitely going to be part of the Super Eagles. He's just going to be looking at, a couple of players and say, okay, even Jerry, as we're speaking, the ones he might even pick today might not even be the superstar for tomorrow. He might even leave some out, and those ones will go out and become better players and come back to Super Eagles. Life can be very dynamic, right? There's no script to these things. It's just about how consistent they want to be. It's not about how much focus they want to put into their game. So if we're looking at all of these things and say, you know what, Éric should just stay back, I don't think that's going to really help them either. Because whether they're going to lose or not, they know that they're Nigerians, of course. They know that Nigerians are very particular about football. Nigerians follow football religiously. They know that every single game Nigerians are watching them. So whether the coach is there or not, it's really not going to change anything. They want to go to the World Cup. Whether Éric comes there or not, they want to be part of the World Cup. They know that winning their next game in their first game in the knockout round gives them that ticket. So there's no reason why they will not do everything to be part of it. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, for me, on the 20, it's still very early to start thinking about the Super Eagles. Because now we have a lot of options in the Super Eagles. Even the Chan Eagles we just mentioned, it's because the Chan Eagles are not playing in the Chan competition. Nobody's talking about them. Before the Chan competition was postponed, everybody was talking about the Chan Eagles. And that is why we talked about Papa Daniel. Papa Daniel eventually made the cut. That means in August, when the Chan competition eventually holds, we'll be talking about the Chan Eagles again. And we'll see them at the biggest stage on the continent of Africa. But for the Flying Eagles, under 20, at least, normally, this player should be 18, 16, 17. So these players should be focusing on their youth level, making it first at the youth level. I think there should not be a discussion about Super Eagles for them for the next 2-3 years. They should at least let them be. Then 1 or 2 who eventually does well at the under 20 World Cup and is exceptional and makes a move to a good, decent club, then we can talk about the Super Eagles. Because they are not running, they're not going anywhere. So putting it in their mind that, oh, you are playing under 20, you are going to be available for the next friendly, is a lot of distraction.
There's no one putting. I don't think there's anybody putting it in their mind. The coach is just there to watch them.
Is already a message.
Well, Jerry, if you see it as a message, for me, this is what I think. I feel that okay, he's just there to support his colleague as a coach, Zubairu. Right, he's just there to be part of. You know what? Don't worry, you guys are doing well. The nation is seeing. I mean, seeing your boss. I'm talking about Zubairu to Éric Chelle now because Éric Chelle is the #1 coach in Nigeria as we speak. So seeing your boss, come see your game is a motivation. This is what I see. Of course, in the long, people might actually be creating a story around him being interested in picking or 1 or 2 players for the tournament in Unity tournament and co. Yes, if that is the motive, I also do not have an issue with it. But then being part of this team, even if you just want to go see them, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If someone like Amadou Pinnick or the NFF chairman decides to go there, I mean, what's wrong with it? This is exactly what Éric Chelle will also be representing there. He's not going to be part of their dressing room. He's just going to be there to just see what they are doing and encourage them. That's exactly what they need at this point because they're actually looking for a way to actually get to the World Cup and every support they need, whether mental or tactical, it's welcome at this point. So I would not want to, because this sort of narrative of him being there, his presence is definitely going to be creating distraction. It's also going to be part of what the players will be seeing, and it's going to even cause more distraction than what we're actually expecting. So let Éric Chelle go there, let him do his job, talk to the boys. It's actually not wrong to actually go there, see them, and have a conversation. We've seen players, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, even Lamine Yamal, Fabregas. These guys actually joined the national team as teenagers. So why can't we have teenagers being part of a Super Eagles setup?
See, you made mention of Lamine Yamal. You made mention of who?
Kylian Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe. You made mention of
Fabregas.
You made mention of who else?
Michael Owen.
And Messi. Let's say Messi.
And Messi.
What makes them different or apart from the current under-20 Eagles now, currently, and after?
Nothing. I don't think there's anything. No. As when they were rising.
Lamine Yamal at 16 is playing at one of the biggest clubs in the world. That is Barcelona. And he came out of the Barcelona Academy. And that is why we are talking about him at the moment. Because you cannot compare their situation with the under-20 Flying Eagles. Because these guys have already been exposed to the big stage. That is why they are making name in the national team.
But Jerry, at that age, if no one gave them opportunity to get exposed, it will still be the same story.
Yes, what opportunity does these guys already have?
That's what I'm saying. These tournaments they are playing, right?
Wait, are we now?
Jerry, the exposure comes. The exposure starts on one day.
Yes.
Just
what
one day.
Do they have now that they merit to be in the Super Eagles and bench any of the Super Eagles players as we speak?
Jerry, when a teenager is introduced into a national team or a club side, Jerry, I'm coming from academy.
What is the yardstick to know that this player deserves to be in the Super Eagles and be benching any of the Super Eagles players as we speak?
Jerry, I'm coming. Okay. I said when a player is joining a club side main team, let's say for example Trent joined Liverpool from youth, right, from the academy. When he was coming, nobody said, Trent, you're going to be benching whoever was there at that point. It's just, okay, come, understudy this guy, we'll give you opportunities to play, and then, of course, you can take it. That's what we have Trent to do. We have Rico Lewis doing the same thing for Manchester City, right? You give you the opportunity. If you show you have what it takes, they will encourage you to do more, right? If you don't have what it takes, you go back, or perhaps you leave the club. That's how it works. This guy also, they see they have the quality, give them opportunity. These are sort of games they get the opportunity. Friendly match, right? Give them opportunity to play. And if they see, oh wow, this guy is actually very good. That's the exposure. It starts one day. Just one day.
That is why the exposure you are talking about is at club level. I'm talking about national teams.
Exactly.
How many national teams will give a player who, even when a lot of players...
Many of these guys are playing... Many of these guys are already playing in professional football across Europe. Not even on age category.
Saying. AFCON is different from playing at a big club like Liverpool, Barcelona and co. You cannot use AFCON and players who are playing in academy in Nigeria to come into the national team all of a sudden because they've just done one or two, played just 3 games at the AFCON. We have not even seen... This team have not even come to the quarterfinals. So we have not even qualified for the World Cup.
Okay, so Jerry, you are saying...
We're already talking about, okay, like now, we are not even sure they are going to qualify for quarterfinals. We are not even sure they are going to be in the semi-finals. We are not sure they are going to be at the World Cup. Already, we are talking about bringing them to the Super Eagles. What is now the standard?
We are not saying they should bring them into the Super Eagles.
No, because Éric Chelle is going there. Everybody is talking about
Jerry, see. Yeah. Nobody is saying, even if you are bringing them into the Super Eagles, nobody is saying they are going to be on...
there should not be a conversation about the Super Eagles for these players now.
Why?
Why? Because they should focus on the under-20.
Is the team doing bad?
The team, I'm not saying anything about the team yet. This team is just like every other team. Let me tell you, Lana Bosso's team even did far better than this. And they crashed in the quarterfinals.
Jerry.
Lana Bosso's team did far well than this and went to the World Cup and crashed out in the second round.
If you have the opportunity, yes. If you have a choice between Éric Chelle going to actually support this team tactically so that you see them qualify, and Éric Chelle not going, and then this team will not qualify, which are you going to take?
Which one? I think Éric Chelle should not even be bothered about the Flying Eagles.
Why?
He should just let them focus. Yes, because now he has issues dealing with a lot of players who are in the wings waiting to play for the team. There's Kani Nwachukwu, there's Kani Chukwuemeka. There's a lot of players. He's still looking to blood into the Super Eagles. He wants to add this. The Chan Eagles is also there. You want to now add the Flying Eagles
Jerry,
who are still babies.
Forget the Chan Eagles.
No, I will not forget the Chan Eagles.
Do you know what I say?
Because
do you know what I say?
You know I will not forget the Chan Eagles.
Do you know what I say? You should forget?
No, I will not forget the Chan Eagles.
Do you know what I say? You should forget the Chan Eagles.
Why should I forget the Chan Eagles?
If the Chan Eagles is very important, we will not be having this conversation.
No.
Yes,
no,
because
no,
they naturally they should be the ones to execute this game. But since
the thing is
since we have decided that
it cannot be so.
Why?
It cannot be so. Why it cannot be so is because now the Chan Eagles is not busy.
That's what I'm saying now.
Yes. And the fact that
were they busy before?
Wait. Let's not get our priorities wrong. The thing is that the Super Eagles right now, the issues they have is some pocket areas in the team. We're not trying to overhaul the Super Eagles.
Nobody's saying we're overhauling the Super Eagles.
No, we're not talking about Jerry. We're not trying to overhaul the Super Eagles.
Jerry, wait. This is not the conversation about the Super Eagles.
Wait, we're not overhauling the Super Eagles.
This is not the conversation about the Super Eagles now. It's about the Unity Cup. We are not using our first team players, right?
This is
not the Super Eagles conversation.
It is.
It is not.
It is. Why?
This is the Unity Cup conversation.
No.
It's a Unity Cup conversation.
Who's playing the Unity Cup?
Exactly. We've decided that the players who played the Rwanda and Zimbabwe game are the main Super Eagles. So let's keep them out.
That is just shying away from the conversation.
No, it's not shying away because Jerry, remember the last time we had this conversation?
Who is going to represent Nigeria at that Unity Cup? What is that team called?
Naturally, it's supposed to be the Chan Eagles, which is the Super Eagles team B.
No.
Yes, now.
No, that's different. See.
No, Jerry. Okay, you want the Osimhen and Co to come play that game?
You don't still get the message.
Okay.
That's Unity Cup. The reason why that Unity Cup is going to be played, they want the Super Eagles to be there. The name written on the friendly.
Jerry, this is just pure semantics. No. So if Liverpool use their under 20 to play their last Premier League game and then they beat them 15-0, somebody will say they beat Liverpool 15-0. Is that the?
Let me learn now.
Okay.
That competition, they're expecting the Super Eagles to persecute it, right? Mm-hmm. If they expect the Super Eagles to persecute it, the handlers of the Super Eagles will now want to decide the players who is going to persecute that game. And now the Super Eagles, as it stands, are in a precarious situation. We are not here to start testing what will not work. That's what the message I want to get. The thing is that the Super Eagles, in their last game against Zimbabwe, struggled to capitalize on that 1-0 victory, and they got a draw. And we have a coach who is just coming to the team and just played 2 games. So he doesn't have the leverage, the time, the opportunity to start wasting games that he has just because he wants to fulfill all righteousness. This is not the time to play games. This is the problem the Eagles have been having, and that is why till now we've not been able to solve most of the problems in the team, like the midfield.
So how do we solve it?
The opportunities you have. You have a lot of players we'll be talking about. The Aroko Dares, the Seredesas and co.
Exactly. You are going back to the same issue.
No.
Why can't we go to the Chan Eagles straight?
Automatically, let's just play this game.
No.
Because we want to play. Let's just start the Chan Eagles.
Are they not the team B?
No. That will be wasting the friendly. That will be waste. Because if you carry the Chan Eagles to play that competition and eventually they lost, a lot of people will say this team is no longer good enough.
Which team?
Yeah, the Chan Eagles. Automatically they'll be ruled out. And that friendly will be wasted. But what he should be doing, okay, we already have Osimhen, Lookman, we know their capacity. We know Moses Simon, we know their capacity. Then there are still some fringe players, when they get invited, they stay on the bench. Invite them to the team. Those other players you'll be talking about to invite them to the team. The Chan Eagles, there are still 1 or 2, 3 players. Invite them to the team.
Why you invite 1 or 2 players?
It's a mixture.
No, Jerry,
mixture of what will work eventually in terms of covering the problems you have in the team.
When you say a team is your team B team, it simply means whatever it is, when you are not using your team A, they get the first priority. The issue of players mixing with them should be the Chan Eagles, and then we'll add 1 or 2 players to mix with the Chan Eagles team, not the other way around, not the way you're putting it. Else, we should know that these guys are not the Super Eagles team B. Let's have a conversation of, we don't have a team B.
They've never been a time. that want to agree and sit here as a journalist who've been talking football as far as Super Eagles is concerned and say we have a team B.
But that's no, Jerry.
No,
you are saying
when
this,
was it
but
officially said?
officially, the NFF acknowledged that the Chan Eagles is the Super Eagles team B.
That is totally false. The NFF has never come to tell us that.
But that's what they call them. The Chan Eagles is the Super Eagles team B.
They didn't say team B. They said they are the Chan Eagles. They are
they are the Super Eagles team B.
No. They are the Chan Eagles. That's what they call the Chan Eagles. If they are the team B.
Yes, that's what they are.
Okay, let me say you say they are the team B.
Yes.
The NFF has not come to tell us they are the team B.
You've not seen it or you've not heard it.
For instance, you cannot tell me because they say the Super Eagles has a team B, okay, the Chan Eagles, now they should go and persecute these friendlies against Ghana.
Okay, so you are saying that the team A and the team B should just sit back. Is that what you are saying? So that I understand it, then we will start bringing players.
That means you don't really understand what I said.
Okay.
That means I just wasted 10 minutes to explain. Just
no, because if you are trying to separate, because you are telling me now that team, that Chan Eagles team, should not be the one to persecute it the same way this team A should not be the one to persecute this game. Then it means that we are looking for an entirely new players that will be part of this team. Then if that's the case, why are you saying that, because these guys are teenagers at 18, 19, they shouldn't be good enough to be exposed to this particular? Nobody is saying the entire team of these Flying Eagles should be part of the team. I agree you can only pick one or two players, the position you feel that the Super Eagles really need to see, and okay, this guy is actually very good in this position, let's bring him to be part of this particular Unity Championship. Our problem in this particular Super Eagles so far is, one, the centre back. We don't really have midfielders that have legs. Our attack, we have a very good attack, right? So if we are playing this championship, the area of concentration will be the centre back and of course the midfield. One or two players, because we lack creative midfielders. That has been the bane of Super Eagles since Mikel left. So we need creative midfielders to actually give the likes of Iwobi serious issue and serious problem, in the Super Eagles team, right? To either make him step up or leave the Super Eagles. These are the kind of players that we actually need at this point. And of course, in the centre back, we don't have players. Most of the ones that we have are injury prone. They are aged. We need players with the legs that can actually play. And then this is the opportunity for them to actually be part of this is the opportunity for the likes of Felix Agu and Igbo and the likes to be part of the Super Eagles, and so many other players that want to be part of the Super Eagles. Now the coach will definitely look at these things. We talked about these things going to this particular doubleheader, saying why can't we have players from Channel Eagles, being part of the Super Eagles in this particular game? None of them was part of it. If you call them the Channel Eagles, and of course these guys are actually the best, are supposed to be the best set of players, best set of Nigerian players based in Nigeria. This is exactly what it's supposed to mean, which means that they are actually telling us we don't even have one that is good enough to start for the Super Eagles. It's a very big problem. Now we are in this particular tournament, we are going this particular tournament, and the Éric Chelle is saying, okay, fine. If we look at how he's actually been going around Europe and looking at players, I feel that's the reason why he doesn't want to give, or he doesn't want to invite Cyril Deza, perhaps because of the age. Maybe he's looking at a particular age range, maybe between 22 and 24, to be part of the Super Eagles. And which age bracket fills the bills as far as Super Eagles, as far as Nigerian football is concerned today? The next after what we have is the under-20. We don't have the Olympic team yet, right? So what we have now, that the next players that can actually be part of the Super Eagles are these boys. Now, going to see them, for me, it's actually not a crime. If he goes there, and then he sees one or two players that is good enough, and then he invites the player to be part of this Unity tournament, and the guy actually gives his best, who is going to cry foul?
The thing is that we are just preempting. Let's take a look at this competition. The under-20 AFCON is supposed to end by June, and this Unity Cup is going to be in the month of May. So there will be no room for these players to have a time if they make it to the final. So he already cancels the opportunity.
That's what I'm saying, just go there to see these guys.
Yeah, so he already cancels the opportunity of them even being a part of it. That's why I'm saying that it's a distraction.
Why is it a distraction?
It's a
supporting a team, you just want to support them.
The thing is that if you are supporting a team, it's different from when, for instance, if they are in the final, I would say yes, going to motivate them. That's a very good idea. Then look at 1 or 2 players in the final who can make the Super Eagles. But now it's still pretty early to start making these boys feel that, oh, they have arrived. Because let me tell you, it has happened to a lot of teams at the age grade level. Most especially when it comes to Nigeria. I know what I'm saying. I've been covering football for more than 15 years. Yeah. And I know what I'm saying. The thing is that this is not the time for Éric Chelle to start looking at the Flying Eagles.
Jerry, I have no issue with him. I have no issue with him going there.
Yes, you may not have issue with it.
There's no issue there now. Go there to see the boys. There's no problem.
There's an issue because now the players will get carried away and complacent that they have arrived since Éric Chelle is coming to see them. Or
they will get, when they say Éric Chelle, they get more motivated. They will do everything to actually clinch the World Cup ticket.
Clinch the World Cup ticket. I wish them all the best. Anyway, I hope we will not. But inviting them to the Super Eagles now is still very early. It should not be in the conversation.
Jerry, if we have quality players among them, I mean, Jerry, see, okay, wait, let me ask you, because this is under 20, right? So if this were to be an under 17 championship, for example, an under 17 World Cup, and they eventually win it, will you say they should be invited to the Super Eagles?
Under 17 World Cup?
Yes.
No.
You will not say they should be invited?
No.
Even if they are good enough?
Even if they are good enough. When Osimhen did very well at the under 17 World Cup with Taiwo Awoniyi, how many of them were in the Super Eagles? None of them. None of them. Even Sani Emmanuel, during the day Sani Emmanuel blew everybody away with Stan Okoro, how many of them made the Super Eagles?
No, Jerry.
None of them. You have to give them a chance to grow at the under 20 level. Then Jerry, if they get exceptional whenever they join a very big club, for instance, and they are doing well, doing the numbers, the Super Eagles is not for testing ground for these great boys.
You know why I asked this question?
How long did it take Mikel Obi to become a starter in the national team?
Jerry, do you know what? No. Mikel Obi's case is under 20.
Yes.
No, there's a reason why I asked this.
Under 20.
2005. Mikel went to 2006 Nations Cup.
He went to 2006 Nations Cup. Was he benching anybody in the midfield? He was still coming from the bench.
His first game. No, the first game.
He was still coming from the bench.
Our first game, he didn't actually start.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Then he came in, and then Nigeria won that game 2-1. That was after that particular game. Mikel started remaining of 2006 Nations Cup.
Fine.
What I'm saying is this, Jerry.
And how many under 20 players eventually played in the Super Eagles?
It's the same thing across the world. How many will actually graduate? That's the big question we should be asking. But Jerry, what I'm saying is this. Why I mentioned under 17 and World Cup to this under 20 is that under 17 is quite far from under 20. But if players are good enough, they get opportunity, they get called, they get invites, even if they will not be part of the team going to a major championship. Like we saw Nwankwo Kanu, Wilson Oruma, and Celeste Mbayaro, the Japan 93 heroes. You know, these guys were actually, in the provincial leagues going to 1994 World Cup, especially Nwankwo Kanu, right, because of his exploits in that particular under 17 tournament. If you are good, Jerry, I don't think age will be a barrier, right? So if these guys are so good that they catch the attention of the coach when he sees them, I mean, I don't think there's any reason why they should not be. I'm not saying you bring them and then just throw them into the Super Eagles and then put somebody on the bench for them to play. No, I'm saying that if they are that good enough, they should be part of the Super Eagles. They can come from the bench, right?
As what? This is just pure waste of time.
How?
It's a pure waste of time. Let them grow. Let them grow from under 20. Then when Mikel Obi was in the news after 2005 because he made the move to Manchester United. And the deal was scuttled and he moved to Chelsea. No,
but before the deal, that deal was already on.
Yeah.
Already on during that championship.
It was the talk.
Before,
yes.
See,
and on the 20 World Cup, it was the talk of everybody.
We know. See,
even
Jerry.
So in history,
under 20, it's good you are mentioning it though. It's good these guys are under 20.
In history, under 20, as far as the national team is concerned, they don't talk about you playing the Super Eagles. It's not even a conversation. It's when you have done something exceptional. That's when they will be talking about.
Okay, so if this were to be a World Cup, you say okay, it's good. Okay, fine, you can.
You're not just going to the World Cup. We have had various under 20 that went to the World Cup and crashed out.
So they have
since Mikel's time. Okay, do you know how many under 20s we've had since 2005?
How many under 20 played before 2005?
I'm talking about after Mikel now. How many of them have played since after 2005? Calculate how many teams that have played the under 20 level. We've had the likes of Stanley Okoro.
No, Okoro is under 17. Little Messi.
No, he still graduated to under 20. Alongside Imum Sani Emmanuel with John Obu's team.
Okay.
How many of them have eventually played for the Super Eagles? That's the question. Samuel Chukwueze was part of the under 17. Today, he's playing under 20, playing for the Super Eagles. Take a look at his trajectory. That's what I'm talking about.
Kelechi Iheanacho too.
Victor Osimhen was at under 17. He didn't work the Super Eagles. He had to go to Wolfsburg. When Wolfsburg his career
but Jerry, the coach going there to support them. I don't know why you see this as a distraction.
Let's not dwell on that. Let's talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold, who in a heartfelt statement announced his departure from Liverpool Football Club after 20 incredible years, and the talented right back expressed gratitude to the club coaches and managers, teammates and staff and fans for their unwavering support and love. Alexander-Arnold's emotional message revealed that his decision to leave was not taken lightly, but is eager to take on new challenges and push himself professionally and personally. It's going to be a big loss for Liverpool, they like it or not, but I think the man has paid his dues. He's played and he's been there for 20 years. He should try new things. There's no big deal.
I would have loved him to follow the path of Steven Gerrard. I mean, Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool have had any academy player who has become so instrumental like Steven Gerrard, right? So I think this would have just been the next Steven Gerrard they will be seeing, But then it's unfortunate he decides to actually take it.
It's good enough that it's not as important as Steven Gerrard to the team.
No, I don't think if he were as important as Steven Gerrard, I don't think he would be leaving.
I think Liverpool would have done more.
No, they would have done. They would have done everything to keep him. In fact, psychologically, he won't even want to leave because he will understand that the burden and what he embodies as a player.
Even he has been criticized of late in terms of his defending.
And just imagine, he is like the Mo Salah of Liverpool today. There's no way he's going to be leaving. There's absolutely no way. But of course, for me, even at this level, I still think Trent is very instrumental for Liverpool, and I don't think with what he has, what he represents the club, the history of the club he represents. He carries exactly. He carries
from Liverpool,
everything about the club. He carries, and
he was a future captain.
Definitely. I mean, definitely. There's no way he's never going to captain this particular team if he has stayed, to play his entire career for Liverpool. But unfortunately, there's a chance he might still come back. Players like this, stuff happen.
I've studied Liverpool. When you go, mostly when you are a court hero, they don't want you back anymore. Once you've left the club, take a look at Michael Owen. When he left Liverpool, he wanted to come back.
Michael Owen's case is actually different from Trent. Michael Owen's case is that, at that point, Liverpool does not really have a team. Like you look at, okay, this is a championship winning team, right?
When he left, they won the Champions League. We had a team after that.
That's what I'm saying. No, Liverpool. What's the history before he left?
The history before he left was, I think we won the Europa League with Gerard Houllier. That was in 2001 season. He was part of that.
When he won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, when he won the Ballon d'Or. Then in 2004 he left. And then 2005, the season after that, Liverpool won the Champions League.
What I'm saying is, I'm talking about what's it called? Michael Owen actually gave Liverpool as a player at that point. Michael Owen's departure is as painful as Fernando Torres' departure for Liverpool. These are players who Liverpool never wanted to leave at that point.
Because the player wanting to come back.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if a player like Suarez, before he joined Atletico Madrid or before he joined Barcelona, if he's still very much fit and wants to join Liverpool, Liverpool still have welcomed him because of the way he left. Arnold's case, Liverpool won the league and is leaving. The environment is quite
I can
easy.
tell you for free, Liverpool will not accept the player that leave, no matter the terms he left.
Because we've not seen a player.
Coutinho wanted to return, and Liverpool said no. You've gone for good.
Coutinho's case is also more like those other players.
Anyway, time not really our friend. I want to wish Trent Alexander-Arnold all the best. He's going to Real Madrid. It's not left to be seen what he will make of his football career there. Real Madrid is a top club, and it now depends on the manager who comes in next season.
We're hearing Klopp is going to be joining them, or Xabi Alonso. So
Yeah, I think Xabi Alonso more like it.
I think they are going to really have a very good team. And let's see what happens. Europe can be very interesting. And I've also studied Real Madrid. Anytime you have this crop of, interesting names in that dressing room, they struggle. So it's going to be a clash of ego, star clash, and everything.
Happened to the Spanish Cavalier when he returns back from injury. Is Trent Alexander not going to bench?
Age, definitely. They'll find a way around it. And of course, Arnold can also very well play in the midfield, Right. And that's an advantage. So the person I know I'm certain is going to be leaving is Vasquez.
All right, that's how we wrap it up on the show this afternoon. Big thanks, Ike Chukwu, for being a part of the show. And of course, the guys behind the scene talking about lights of Shegun Silva, Ike Chukwu, and as well as Samuel and Paul. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwu Maokoro. My name is Jerry. I'll be here. Stay safe, and if not, to the sports room.